Imagine walking into a casino late at night. The lights shimmer, the carpets glow, and the machines hum like they're whispering your name. You sit down at a slot that feels lucky. Maybe it's the one you've played before. Maybe it's the one that just looks right. You press the button, waiting for that rush. But something strange happens. Spin after spin, nothing. Not even a hint of a bonus. And you start wondering, is it me? Is the machine cold? Or was this thing never designed to pay out in the first place? Here's what most players never hear. Unless you've worked behind the scenes, some machines are built for excitement, some are built for entertainment, and some are built to take your money slowly, quietly, and consistently. And unless you know how to spot them, you'll sit right where the casino wants you. Tonight, we re-exposing the machines that almost never pay out and why players get trapped by them again and again. Because once you understand the patterns, the psychology, and the placement strategies, you'll start seeing the casino floor like an insider. And the first secret? It begins where most players take their very first step. You've probably walked through a casino and felt that pull, that strange mix of excitement and curiosity as the slot machines glow like magnets. But here's something most players never realize. The machines that almost never pay out don't look dangerous at all. They look inviting, comfortable, familiar, and that's exactly why they work. I remember watching a regular sit down at a machine near the main walkway. Every night, same chair, same game, same hope. And every night, that machine took his bankroll almost on schedule. Why? Because casinos deliberately place certain low-performing games in the highest traffic areas. They're designed to look active, fun, and safe. But the truth is, many of these spots are home to notoriously tight machines. You've seen them too. The ones right by the entrances, by the cashier cage, by the bar. These machines aren't built to make winners. They're built to catch eyes. But here's the twist most players never notice. The losing pattern feels like a slow drain, not a sudden hit. That's why it slips under the radar. It feels normal. If a machine sits in a spot where thousands of eyes pass by every hour, assume it's tighter than average. Casinos want the busiest areas to look exciting, not actually cost them money. You sit down at a machine that feels brand new, polished, and promising. The screen is crisp, the animation smooth, and every spin feels like it's building towards something big. But then nothing. Spin after spin, the game tricks you into believing a win is coming. And that's because modern slot design uses something old-school players never had to deal with. Near-miss psychology engineered right into the math. In older casinos, machines were more straightforward. Wins were wins, losses were losses. Today, the illusion of almost winning is baked into the experience. I once spoke with a technician who laughed and said, "The game knows exactly how close to let you feel." He wasn't joking. Those reels stopping just one symbol short, those bonus triggers appearing twice instead of three, that pattern is intentional. It keeps your brain believing the jackpot is within reach, even when the machine is programmed to pay out far later. But here's what most players never realize. Near misses fire the same part of the brain that lights up when you actually win. It's dopamine without the reward, a psychological hook that keeps you spinning. When you catch yourself chasing almost wins, step back. A real winning machine doesn't tease, it pays. Track actual payouts, not emotional ones. 3. You've seen them. The giant, glowing machines with towering screens, booming sound effects, and bonus rounds that look like miniature video games. They're fun, they're loud, and they pull crowds like magnets. But here's the part most players never notice. These big, beautiful machines often have some of the lowest payback percentages on the floor. I once watched a casino manager walk a new trainee through the floor layout. He pointed to a massive branded slot, one of those movie-themed giants, and said, "That machine prints money for us." It wasn't a secret. These games are expensive for casinos to license, maintain, and display. And those costs get built right into the math. The bigger the machine, the more it usually costs to play, and the tighter the payout tends to be. Players sit down expecting big machine, big wins. But the truth is almost the opposite. These games rely on entertainment value, not payback value. They keep you spinning with flashy bonus rounds that look rewarding, but often return very little in actual credits. But here's the twist. Casinos place these machines in high-visibility spots because crowds attract crowds. When you see someone playing and having fun, you assume the machine is hot. If the machine looks like it belongs in an amusement park, check the denomination and RTP before you settle in. Flash isn't free. Take a walk toward the back corners of almost any casino, past the bars, past the restaurants, past the noise, and you'll notice something different. The machines look older, simpler, quieter. And here's the secret insiders know. These low-profile, low-traffic machines often hold some of the most generous payout percentages in the entire building. I remember talking with an older slot tech who shook his head and said, "Players never go where the good machines are." And he was right. Most players stay in the bright, busy areas because they feel safer and more fun. Meanwhile, the machines tucked away from the spotlight are designed to slowly give back more to keep longtime players engaged. These aren't the flashy themed games or the towering bonus displays. They're usually 3 real classics or mid-era video slots that don't scream for attention. Casinos don't need these machines to impress. They just need them to maintain a healthier percentage for regulars. But the twist is this: players rarely explore enough to find them. The quiet corners look boring, so the opportunity sits unnoticed. When you enter a casino, don't start where everyone else starts. Walk deeper. The farther you get from high-traffic walkways, the better your odds tend to be. 5. Now let's talk about something most players misunderstand: volatility. It's the hidden personality of every slot machine, and if you don't recognize it, you can mistake a tight machine for a cold one. Or worse, chase a payout that was never meant to come quickly. I once watched a guest sit at a high-volatility game without knowing it. She expected frequent wins, small bonuses, and consistent action. Instead, the machine gave her long stretches of nothing, punctuated by rare bursts of excitement. She walked away believing the game was rigged. But in reality, the machine was working exactly as designed. High-volatility machines pay less often but hit bigger when they do. Low-volatility machines pay smaller amounts but pay more frequently. Casinos mix these machines intentionally, creating emotional highs and lows across the floor. The trouble is, many high-volatility games look just as inviting, sometimes even friendlier than low-volatility ones. Without understanding the math, you can misjudge what kind of experience the machine is built to deliver. But here's the twist: players often assume a machine that never pays out is simply bad, when in many cases, it's just high volatility waiting for the right moment. Before spinning, check the game's pay table and jackpot structure. If the top prizes are massive, expect volatility. Plan your bankroll accordingly. 6. Here's a moment almost every casino employee has witnessed. 2 people play the same machine back to back. One gets drained instantly, then the next sits down and hits a bonus within minutes. It feels unfair, almost personal. But here's the truth: slot machines don't warm up, cool down, or remember anything about the last player. Every spin is governed by a constantly running random number generator, and the outcome is locked in the millisecond you hit the button. I once spoke with a slot tech who explained it perfectly. If you had pressed that spin button 1 microsecond earlier, you would have gotten a totally different result. That's how sensitive the system is. The machine isn't punishing you or rewarding the next person. It's simply pulling numbers nonstop. Casinos strategically place machines in ways that make these coincidences look meaningful. A guest hits a jackpot right after you leave. It's not fate. It's not timing. It's pure math combined with player flow. The danger is in believing patterns exist where none do. That belief turns into chasing losses, staying longer, and overspending. Never evaluate a machine based on what happened before you sat down. Treat every session as a fresh start without emotional baggage. 7. Now let us pull back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood parts of slot play: losses disguised as wins. If you've ever spun a machine, heard the cheerful music, watched coins burst across the screen, only to realize you actually lost money on that spin, you've experienced one of the casino's most effective psychological tricks. I once watched a guest laugh and clap as her machine celebrated a win. She had bet $1.40, but the machine threw confetti like she hit a jackpot. A slot tech standing nearby whispered to me, "That sound isn't for the payout. It's for the player's brain." And he was absolutely right. These celebratory animations aren't accidental. They're engineered to keep you spinning, even when the math is moving against you. Every sound, every flash, every fake victory reinforces the feeling that you're doing well, when in reality, your bankroll is slowly shrinking. But here's what most players never notice: the more elaborate the celebration, the smaller the average payout tends to be. Big wins usually announce themselves with numbers, not noise. This is why so many players believe a machine is paying when it's actually draining them. On every spin, compare your win to your bet. If it returns less than the wager, mentally label it as a loss, even if the machine calls it a win. 8. Walk through any casino, and you'll notice something subtle but powerful. Not all machines are placed for your convenience. Many are placed for the casino's advantage. And one of the most overlooked placement strategies involves machines near high-energy zones, like bars, entertainment stages, and busy walkways. These machines look exciting, lively, and social, but they're often some of the tightest machines in the building. A former casino host once told me, "We put our most entertaining games where people are already distracted." That line stuck with me. When players are chatting, drinking, listening to music, or watching sports screens, they pay less attention to their bankroll. And when attention drops, losses rise. I've watched guests sit at machines right outside a concert venue or beside a popular blackjack pit. They weren't thinking about RTP or bankroll strategy. They were soaking up the energy of the room. And the casino knows this. These ambience machines aren't meant to pay big, they meant to keep the vibe alive. But here's what most players never realize. The busiest sounding machines aren't always the best paying machines. Noise and celebration create emotional cover for tight math. If a machine sits where entertainment is happening, karaoke, concerts, sports games, assume it's tighter. Casinos don't place generous machines where players are most distracted. 9. There's a reason experienced players gravitate towards certain machines while casual players drift toward others, and it all comes down to understanding denominations. If you've ever wondered why penny slots almost never seem to pay out big, while dollar machines hit more consistently, the answer is built directly into their math. Lower denomination machines typically carry lower RTP, meaning the casino keeps more of every dollar played. I once watched a seasoned regular walk right past a long row of penny slots without even slowing down. He pointed at them and said, "Those are entertainment machines, not winning machines." He wasn't joking. Penny slots lure players with small bets, but the multi-line structures and bonus features often cause you to wager far more per spin than you realize. Meanwhile, higher denomination games, like quarters, 50 cent, or dollar machines, tend to offer cleaner math and better long-term returns. But here's the twist most players never think about. Casinos know penny machines attract the most traffic, so they're placed everywhere. And because they're so popular, the casino doesn't need to make them generous. Volume alone does the job. Still, that doesn't mean everyone should jump straight to high-denomination play. It's about understanding what each machine is built for. Focus on machines where your bet matches your budget and the RTP works in your favor. One strong $1 spin is often worth more than 5 confusing penny spins. 10. If you've ever sat at a machine and felt like it wanted you to stay, soft music, smooth pacing, endless small teases, you weren't imagining it. Modern slots are engineered with session design in mind. They're built not just to take your money, but to manage your time, your attention, and your emotions in a way older machines never did. I once spoke with a game designer who said, "We don't build games. We build experiences." And that line reveals everything. These machines are crafted to keep you in a flow state. Just enough bonus teases to stay hopeful. Just enough small hits to keep engagement high. And just enough near misses to keep your brain believing a big payout is due. But here's the part most players never notice. Machines that rarely pay out are often the ones that deliver the smoothest, most hypnotic gameplay. They're designed to make losing feel comfortable. No sudden drops, no dramatic droughts, just a slow, steady drain hidden beneath excitement. Casinos love these machines because they produce long sessions with predictable losses. Players walk away thinking they played for a while, even though they never truly got ahead. Track your credits every 10 spins. If you're slowly leaking, not cycling back up, you're on a machine built for time, not payouts. 11. There's a powerful reason some machines feel irresistible the moment you walk by. Casino psychology is baked into every pixel, sound, and symbol. Machines that rarely pay out often rely on the strongest psychological hooks, not good math. And one of the biggest hooks is theme recognition. When a player sees a favorite movie, TV show, or nostalgic symbol set, the emotional attachment overrides logical decision-making. I remember standing with a slot tech during a busy weekend. A long line of players waited specifically for a branded machine, movie-themed, bright, and loaded with features. The tech leaned over and said, "These games are fun, but they're not friendly. Licensing costs, flashy animations, and high production value often mean RTP gets sacrificed. Players don't pick these machines for payouts. They pick them for feelings. And casinos count on that. But here's the twist. Familiarity breeds trust, even when the math doesn't deserve it. The more emotionally connected you are to a theme, the more likely you are to stay longer, bet higher, and accept losses as part of the fun. These machines aren't scams, they're entertainment-first engines. But expecting them to pay well is where players get trapped. If a game relies heavily on theme, branding, or nostalgia, assume you're paying for the experience, not the return. 12. Sometimes the machines that look the most boring are the machines that quietly take care of players. Simple reels, minimal animations, no branded characters. Just clean math and straightforward payouts. These are the slots long-term regulars often swear by. And there's a reason for that. When a game has fewer extras, more of the machine's budget can go toward actual returns. I once watched a retired dealer sit at an old-school 3-reel machine for over an hour. No flashing bonus rounds, no theatrics, just a steady rhythm. When I asked why he never touched the newer games, he smiled and said, "Simple machines don't need to fool you to keep you playing." And he was right. These games aren't trying to distract you. They're trying to pay according to their math. But here's the detail most players miss. Casinos often hide these higher RTP machines away from high-traffic areas because they were not meant to attract casual players. They rebuilt for people who know what they were looking for, players who understand value over spectacle. Still, simple doesn't mean guaranteed. It means clearer odds, cleaner sessions, and fewer psychological traps. When in doubt, look for games with fewer bonus frills and a straightforward pay table. If the machine doesn't need a movie trailer to sell itself, it's often more generous.